parents and collectors. On this episode of the Creation Evaluation Station, I'll be evaluating this here. It is EggHead's Mech Food Fight from the Lego Batman movie. Before getting into any further, just want to let new viewers know that I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also do reviews and discussions of other creative works such as movies, video games, and animation. Because they're in-depth reviews, they can be on the long side, so make sure you're checking out the timestamps embedded in the bottom red line here or down in the description to help you jump around to your favorite part or to use as bookmarks to come back to at a later date. Let's take a closer look at this guy here. There are some crazy villains here, as you see here. We have EggHead and then the Condiment Master. Definitely sounds like a food fight to me. Batman doesn't look like he's got a vehicle in it, but that's okay. We got this cool, weird looking egg mech. I like weird mechs. Like cool mechs too, but weird mechs are great. Looking at the back here, we see got that there. It's very glossy. And getting down to its details, it is set number 70920. It's for ages 7 through 14, or in today's lingo, it's 7 and up. I believe this was just before they started switching over to the new age system, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, it has 293 parts, and it was released in January of 2018. So a little on the older side, but Batman movie came out a while ago now. The Lego Batman movie. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a fun set for sure. Definitely different. So let's crack it open and see what comes out. Here we have the contents of the box, and we got our instruction booklet, and it's pretty thick here. And we've got a small sticker sheet. Looks like they aren't too important. I do like the one with the chicken on it. That's kind of funny. Of course, this set's kind of funny. We have bag 1, bag 2, and bag 3 here. Doesn't want to sit flat. And then we also have a couple tubes. Well, they're not tubes, they're not hollow, but the little flimsy cord pieces. Here we have the contents of bag 1, although these are the cords that were just loose inside the box. I got some curved pieces here and some bricks, some hinges. We got this cool canopy piece in clear color. Some more saucer pieces. It is an egg bot, so you expect round things. We have Batman over here, and we also have EggHead. And I wanted to point out, this is EggHead's EggHead. Except I can't pick it up. There it is. I don't know if it's a unique piece for this set. I'm not sure. I have not seen it anywhere else before. But yeah. Nice and round. It can fit on top of a regular figure's head. We also have Batman's cape here in the little box. A lot of round dots here, or studs. Probably ammo, although I don't see any stud shooters in this one. Maybe in the next bag. Claw pieces. A lot of little pieces here. Yeah, good array of little and big and even medium and a few bigger pieces here and there. That's bag 1. This is bag 2, and we got a lot less in it, but there's definitely some interesting stuff. We've got a bunch of hinges and things. Of course, for the mech, you expect that for the arms and legs. We've got a lot of these round curved pieces in white and a few more in the gray color. Plates and things. And this is one of the a couple of really good things here is we've got a printed saucer piece, which is always nice to see prints. And then we have printed discs that look like eggs, which I guess will go over in this disc shooter here. So it's going to shoot out eggs, fried eggs. Fried eggs, yummy. We got a couple other smaller pieces, trans orange stud pieces. Got a bunch more in gray. Still haven't seen any stud shooters. Maybe these are all part of the build. And then we have some saucers over here, including a yellow one. Is a interesting color. Couple Technic pins here and there. Yeah, not as much as the first bag for sure. Here we have the third and final bag. We got definitely some interesting stuff going on. Got some hinges, got a bunch of clear parts. We have one dome and two halves to a circle container. I don't know what else to call it. Got a bunch of eggs. We have 4 whips. Sure why so many whips. We have a little chicken. Maybe they're just used as wires. We have our last villain here, Condiment King here. We have a trans neon orange antenna piece, the old-fashioned ones. It's kind of a strange piece in this set, being that color. I mean, we have some trans orange stuff like this here, but neon orange? I wonder what that's being used for. Maybe it's part of his weapon, I don't know. Because everything else is very egg themed, so it's yellow or orange or something, bright orange. But yeah, this is the last bag. There's not too many overall pieces, but there is quite a few small stuff, including all these different colored studs. Now we do finally have stud shooters, but I doubt all those are for stud shooters, considering there's 3 different colors plus 2 hollow studded pieces as well. A few more pins and other Technic parts. But that's it. Let's go finish this guy up. Here we have the leftover pieces, and we have some doozies in here. We got a lot of extra stud pieces. These are not ammo for anything, these are just extra. We've got a wand piece, we got a bat utility belt here, and we have 2 whip pieces, which I find very interesting. And we also have a long hose piece. Apparently these always come in pairs, and this thing really only used 1. And then over here we've got some extra ammo for the Condiment King's gun, his ketchup and mustard gun. And then the extra egg discs for the egg shooter. Not really extra pieces, just like these really aren't. They're more extra ammo. But yeah, that's what we've got here. And we have our characters for the set. Of course, we've got Batman here, star of the show, the movie. And then we have Egghead with his egg head. I think it actually, to be an egghead, needs to be a little bit more narrow around the top. But, you know, they used what they had going on. And then we have Condiment King, who sounds very important but looks completely ridiculous with that crazy color scheme. Now we're going to take off their accessories, what ones they have, and take a closer look at their prints. But I do really love Condiment King's accessories. He's got mustard and ketchup guns, essentially. So that's really cool. And then you got the wires going back, feeding the guns from the backpack. It's really nice. Yeah, let's strip them down here. We've got them all stripped down here. Can take a much better looking at their prints without all the other stuff in the way. Got Batman's mask off here. You can see he's got the face with the mask part on the top, which I always found those interesting. His bat symbol, maybe it's just me, but it should be a brighter yellow. That could just mean it's opacity issues with the black bleeding through. Now, Egghead here, I took the egg part off. So you can see, yes, he has a normal head underneath, and you could use that, you know, head for something else easily. Now, he only has a single face. He doesn't have a face in the back, but that's because he's bald and no hat, so to cover it up. Now, his suit there is rather simple, but it works for what it's supposed to be. A simple suit. And he does, oh, I did take that off, but he does have cloth tails that go on this, so he's pretty classy with his tails. Oh, Condiment King, very interesting. He apparently wears his underwear on the outside of his suit. But anyways, it's quite evident that it's interesting. Well, I think that's a white piece where the hip piece is, but the white here on the actual upper legs is definitely having opacity issues with the blue bleeding through. You can tell quite obvious between the part up top, plus this is dual molded legs with these white, very bright, except for the blue bleeding through the print. So that's a bit disappointing, but I think that the same goes here for the chest, because I think that's supposed to be bright white too, and that's definitely bleeding through. His face is very interesting. I'll flip around here and look at the back. He's got two faces, unlike Egghead, but that's because he's wearing a helmet. This is a much more somber, worried face. Yeah, definitely the hips are a different color there. No printing at all on the back of Egghead, but like I said, it's a suit. You're not going to see too much. I mean, they could have maybe gave us some seams or something there, but... And then Batman, you know, he's got his more grumpier face here, a worried face, and the mask once again, and some nice printing definition for his muscles on his back, just like the front. Probably seen this Batman figure many times, and we'll see many more. But yeah, there they are. Let's go check out the main review. We've got everything put together here, and we've already looked at the figures. We're gonna just sweep them aside and look just at the mech, and we'll keep Egghead here for a moment because we want to see how he fits inside there. But let's go over the mech first. There's all sorts of really cool things going on here, like his egg supply case back here. He's got these, I don't know if these are supposed to be just fuel cells or what, but they rotate. Then you have the arms here that are on click hinges and can rotate here at the shoulder, all sorts of different directions. And a regular ball joint at the elbow. And we also have our little egg launcher here, and it's just basically a disc launcher. It works really well. Don't mind shooting them off because they don't bounce around quite as much as the stud would in the stud shooters. And that's pretty much for articulation on that side. Now on this other side, it's pretty much the same here in the shoulder and the elbow, but we also have our little egg beater arm here, which is really cool and funny at the same time. It has a little crank back here you can spin it with, and they're also posable fingers, so if you wanted to actually grab onto something you could. You probably hold on to Batman if you lined it up just right. And some nice grasping egg beater hands. Eggs are definitely the theme here. Now we've got articulation here in the legs. You got hip on a ball joint, and you got a ball joint for the knee. You only primarily want that. Nothing for the ankles, but you don't really need too much. I mean, you're not going to do a lot of amazing poses with this, but you can, you know, make him look like he's walking. You can even get him to balance on one leg, I think. Yeah, there we go. Short little legs, but he's got a low center of gravity, which helps. And that's it for functioning, except for the cockpit here. So yes, we'll get to the cockpit. It opens up, it lifts up just like that. He's got like little control arms here that he can use, and then he quite simply stands on these two studs right here. That holds him in place. I thought maybe he went in deeper, but he doesn't. He stands right there. I know when I first put him in, I'm like, is that canopy gonna close down over him or not? Because you put him in there like that, it doesn't look like there's a lot of room there, but sure enough, it does, and he fits perfectly inside there. And you have yourself an excellent mech. Let's give this a final eval, and first, my final thoughts. Overall, I enjoyed this set. I really liked this mech. It's crazy, it's fun, it's unique, it's different, and I love it. As I go through the final eval, you'll see why I liked it so much, and that maybe it's not quite so perfect. So, as far as appearance, overall this thing looks great. Now, I do have a little bit of nitpicky stuff with some of the figures and the opacity of the paint job. Other than that, the characters are good, have really great designs. I love the Condiment King here. He's just crazy, and Egghead doesn't look too bad either. Batman's just Batman. We've seen him about 100 times now, but that's an exaggeration. Yeah, there's an opacity issue, but overall, I don't think it affects the look of the set in its entirety. And in its entirety, I love the appearance of this set. Now, it did have some stickers, but I feel like I didn't put them on, and I feel like they don't really need them. We do have a couple prints here, one for this round disc and for the ammo as well, to make them look like fried eggs. Oh, there it is on this side. Anyways, yeah, so I gave appearance a 10 easily. Now, as far as function, everything works fine that you want. All the joints move the way it's supposed to move. Now, there's not a lot of other functionality here other than, like, kind of the weapons here, like the little egg beater arm here, which still works fine and is very clever. Yeah, and I gave function a 10. I mean, we even get this guy to stand on one leg and pose in different poses, despite its rather small legs. It's great. Now, fun. This is where things take a slight dip, just a slight. I think this is going to be a fun mech. This is fun to put together. It's going to be fun to play with, but if you notice slight issues here, if you divide right down the middle, we have two bad guys, one good guy, all by himself with nothing but a Gatling gun. Yes, I know it's Batman, and these are pretty much villains of the week here, and he's probably going to have no problem beating them. But still, narrative play, there should be something more on Batman's side. A nice vehicle, another vehicle would be nice, or another character maybe, Robin or something. This feels very lopsided. It's a Batman set, so of course we have to have Batman in there. But let's put a little bit more than just Batman in there. But like, this would easily be able to play with like another set or whatever, if you wanted to combine it with something else. But as far as self-containing, yeah, it's a little bit awkward. You don't have a nice even spread of stuff to play with for kids. And I ended up giving this a fun a 9. And yeah, you know, not terrible. It's still, like I said, a really fun build, and just a fun mech overall. So you're gonna have fun with it that way. It's just story-wise, for kids play, it's a little uneven. Now, as far as technique, I was slightly debating on this because overall the build isn't that phenomenal. But then there's some really, really good uses of parts to create the egg shape of the mech, the arms. I love the feet, the way they're designed. There's some nice studs on side building and stuff going on to make that very nice and smooth. And even the cool egg backpack here uses parts interesting to do it. But to build like the actual mech, it just uses regular joints and stuff. So I would really oscillated between a 9 and 10, but I ended up giving it a 10 when I thought more about how I enjoyed like how the build of the feet and how different parts were used. So yeah, technique, I got a 10. You take all that up, and you get a 39, and you divide that by 4, and we get a 9.75. But we always round up to the nearest half. So this is going to get a 10 for its final eval score. So yeah, it's a really good set. Like I said, it's a little unbalanced narratively for story play, but overall, it's really nice and fun. Now, just talking briefly on price, is no longer available, so you're not gonna probably find it at the retail price anyways. But it was $29.99, almost 30 bucks, and you do the math, there's what, 293 pieces, and you end up getting 10 cents per piece, which is it's our standard parts per piece. But I feel like you're not getting $30 worth of merchandise here. I would almost say this is closer to 20. Like I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like there's that much here. I mean, part of the problem is a lot of that price count is a bunch of really small pieces. There are a lot of single stud pieces in this set, among some other small stuff. And I think that's boosting up the part count. But I don't feel like you're getting $30 worth of merchandise. 25, yes, I feel that's better. Like this almost feels like $20, and if you add the figures in, you'd be getting to about 25. But like I said, you're gonna have to find it on the secondhand market, and it's probably gonna be even more than $30 if you're really interested in it. It is a really fun set, but some interesting pieces. Even had some really good leftover pieces as well. So that is my final thoughts, my final evaluation. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And if you have any questions or anything like that, leave them down there. And if you're new here, or if you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button. And if you're new here or haven't yet, please subscribe. We're up over 300, working our way slowly to 400. That would be great. And while you're subscribing, make sure you hit the bell for notifications for new videos coming out. But also check out my description down below too, because I have Facebook and Twitter links. If you want to follow me on one of those, I tend to get my notifications faster out than YouTube, though they have been a little bit better lately. Also down there's a Patreon if you want to check that out and help the channel out more directly. It's not much there right now, but either way, thank you for watching the video and doing anything you do. Liking, subscribing, all that stuff is really great and helps my channel grow. And larger it gets, the bigger our community gets. You know, the more we get to talk about things, and also it helps the channel out and I can do more stuff as well. So that's it for me here at the Creation Evaluation Station, reminding you that creativity is key.